And are you refreshed?
Yes.
Good. Now what? What trouble can you cause now?
That closing your eyes trick works.
It's called the belief factor.
So what I came up with here to look for is some clarity. And I'm not exactly sure how to articulate what it is that I'm looking for.
Just go for it.
Okay. The game that I play is I'm a talent evaluator for a professional sports team. So the game I play is evaluating other young people's ability to play a particular game. And I've come to understand that the more in the vortex that I am, the more I attract players who maintain their alignment or their being in the vortex. And that leads to more success for them and more success for myself. I guess what I am unclear about is there seems to be, in the organization I work for, training that takes the players out of alignment with the Amen Gallery.
Yes. Much of the world is that way, isn't it? Because much of the world is even the way most parents are with their children, they're trying to demand performance rather than encourage it or allow it. So from your own experience, you've shown yourself that you can get yourself into a place of expectation where you can influence the positive expectation of another. But you also know that you cannot get yourself into a place of enough expectation that you can control the expectation of another. In other words, they have to be already in the vicinity of that before you effectively rendezvous with them, yes?
Yes.
So what is it that you think you're looking for here?
I think I'm looking for how to effectively be an uplifter when some of those players are trained off track, how I can help guide them back to what they know when they're being trained in a different direction.
Well, we would tell them what you know. We would say something like this. To a certain extent, the hard line of effort can take you so far. In other words, almost anyone could take anyone with the physical characteristics and teach them the skills and give them enough practice that they could become fairly good at this. But what makes the difference between those who are just all right at it and those who really excel, it's a mental edge. It's a vibrational edge. It's something that physical training does not really accomplish. And then say to them, that's where I like to think that I come in, because I've discovered that if I can find someone who is physically ready and I can convince them of their worthiness and help them with their expectation, that then they often can become one of those great ones. And the definition between the so many that are just all right and the so many fewer who are sensational is that mental edge. It's an alignment thing. It's a vibrational thing. It's an expectation thing. In other words, win them over to your understanding of all of this and then teach it to them.
Okay. What is it that happens in an organization when there's a vast number of injuries? I believe I've heard Abraham say before that that's a misalignment, that people can be...
Well, when you try hard and you're not in the vortex, that's the perfect recipe for uncomfortable things to happen. And so it's that it's putting forth stronger and stronger energy in the midst of being out of the vortex. Because when you're in the vortex, you intuitively zig and zag in perfect rhythm and dance with everyone else who's playing the game.
I see. So that would be really indicative of on a large scale of a group that was trying really hard and was out of the vortex.
You can't buck your own current in that way, you see. Think about it even as a parent with children. When your child is misbehaving by your perspective, and so you sort of put the hammer down, that's when your child spills his milk and tips over his chair and falls out of his chair, and things just go from bad to worse, don't they? It's the same sort of thing. The vibrational discord is just amplified. And the point that we really want to make, and it's a point hardly understood anywhere on the planet, and yet it is such a valid law, universal law, is what we were demonstrating with these affirmation cards when we say efforting from outside the vortex. It's like having a pile of books that you are carrying and beginning to run with them before you've found your balance. That's a scanty analogy, but it is something like that.
So
we like to say, get into the vortex and then. Get into the vortex and then. Get into the vortex and then. But there's a whole lot of and thenning going on before anybody gets into the vortex, and that's when things go from bad to worse.
Okay. So the terminology the kids use is the zone, which I interpret to be the vortex. So what
we would interpret it to be that too, but we would explain to them that what the zone is through all that they have lived, they have put expectations and desires of spectacular performance in their vortex, of being masterful and mighty at this game. And that when they are in vibrational alignment with that idea, their physical bodies have the ability to perform to that level. That's what the zone is. The zone is alignment with your own desire to be great. And worry means you're out of alignment. Fear means you're out of alignment. Struggle means you're out of alignment. Anger means you're out of alignment. Disappointment means you're out of alignment. What that feels like when it's happening, and they all know it, when it's happening, you feel invincible. You feel frisky. You feel capable of doing almost anything, you see.
That's much clearer. Thank you.
Wait. Second row.